Joe. We're here to talk with Joe about his newly diagnosed or recently diagnosed cancer that is affecting kidney and bladder. And he's jumped into his own personal management, taking control over his cancer and learning what he can and learning how he might approach managing it. In this way, very similar to what Elaine has done, is decide to become their own advocates and understand what they can that will move them along with the comprehension that it's all very difficult, complicated topic for all of us. So, Joe, what did you find out? What did you end up doing? Where are you at with this?
I mean, I got to start from the beginning because when I was first diagnosed with this, right away, immediately, I think anybody who's diagnosed with cancer, all of a sudden your expiration tag just comes up, and your whole reality changes at the blink of an eye. So you're not thinking about future, you think about right now, and what's my next move? So that would be, calling people, friends, relatives, and make peace with what you got to do because you don't know how long you have. When you hear you got cancer, you go, well, okay, how long do I got? That's my next question. So essentially, I had made a few phone calls to people I hadn't talked to, and a good friend of mine, I hadn't talked to him in about 3 years, so I thought, well, let me just call him up and see how he's doing. So in that conversation, after I told him I was diagnosed with cancer, he said, hey, you know what? I know somebody who had brain cancer and had 2 weeks left to live. And she got on this program, and that was 13 years ago, and there's no cancer, there's no tumor. I go, oh, I got to know about this. So he told me about it, and he said, let me get back to you, and he emailed me the stuff and what I need to do, and then subsequently I kind of put that on the shelf for a second, because this is all, I don't know if this is snake oil or what the deal is. I don't know who this person is, could be crazy. So then I had scheduled to go to the hospital and do my testing and all that, and they confirmed, yes, I do have a 3.14-inch tumor in my kidney, and I have a bladder in my bladder also, but it's not as big. And what they're talking about is taking out my kidney, and we don't know if it's going to go to the next kidney, and we don't know if you're going to keep your bladder, and we might have to reconstruct, and you might have a bag and this, and I'm going to, geez, Christ. So I started thinking about this other thing, and I thought, well, let me look into this. So I spoke to the woman. She said that, told me the story about what had happened. It was 13 years ago, and that all the doctors said, hey, you got 2 weeks, we can't do anything. And I guess I think it was her father who knew somebody called this doctor in Nevada. He said, get over to Nevada if you can. I can help you. And she told me, he thought, well, that's pretty arrogant. Nobody else can help me. How can you help me? He said, just get to Nevada, and I'll try to help you. I can help you. So she did. 13 years ago, she says. She was diagnosed with MRI and CAT scan. She has pictures before and after. So I took a leap of faith. I purchased the things I needed to purchase. I've been on it for, I guess almost 2 months? No, a little over a month. And I don't, like I said, it's a leap of faith. I don't know what's happening because I haven't had another CAT scan to see if these things have shrunk or anything that's happening.
So, Joe, again, as you developed a plan after hearing this story and validating as much as you needed that there was a CAT scan and an MRI showing the presence of a tumor in someone's brain that then went away over time, you decided to follow up on that. What did you find out, and what did you do?
Well, so as I said, that was plan A, and so I figured, they told me that my options at the point, and it was kind of, really haven't seen the oncologist yet, so I don't know my ultimate options, what they have to say, but I thought I would take this option because it's non-intrusive. I get to keep my organs, and hopefully something can happen. And I did ask the question, look, if I did nothing, how long do I have? He says maybe 1.5, 2 years. I go, well, it's enough time for me to do this. So I thought I'd start on this, see how this goes. again, the premise, the story was that this doctor kind of invented this whole deal, and it's pretty simple. I mean, it's one liquid form that you mix with water. It's an alkaline. You have to take phenomenal water with, mix it with certain water. So you're trying to make an alkaline environment. And apparently what happens is it's supposed to go in and saturate the tumor. And then at the same time, after about 6 weeks, the tumor starts to collapse on itself. And the immune system can come in and start to clear it out. This is the premise of it. In theory, it sounded okay to me, So,
question, I think there were other people that have tried this theory. This
right.
same,
And this is, like I said, this is all leap of faith. I'm
Right.
going on someone else's word on this. That apparently there's been about 400 people that have done this. None of them have died from cancer. One died in a skiing accident, and one died because she drank, too much. But in any case, that's what the story
So that's a
is.
hearsay, but it's
Yes.
not distracting from your goal.
Right. So I purchased it, and I've been on it, and you're supposed to stay off of sugar, don't eat or take anything that's acidic, and so I stopped the pizza, and no sodas, nothing. I
Excellent.
cheat a little bit, I have a cup of coffee in the morning, and 1 little teaspoon of sugar, and that's it for the day. So I've been pretty regimented on this. 6 pills a day, 3 times a day, and 2 times with the liquid. And so it's a no-brainer. It's pretty easy to do. I'm just waiting to see what happens.
And what's it called again?
Orasol, you can look up on the internet.
Right.
It's Orasol, and then there's an accompanying capsules called React, and one is Alkaline. Comes from the same company. They're up in Washington.
Great.
And I think it's Natural Balance. I think it's what it's called. So that's where we are right now.
Great. So are you doing anything else, just those two, or did you end up other supplements? Any concern?
A couple that were recommended. I'm going to try to start that with
Okay.
them.
They're on hold yet. Doing one thing at a time, it sounds
Yeah,
like. Yeah, okay. And so this is obviously moving on faith. It's a reasonable thing to do. Unfortunately, it sounds like our healthcare system has limited your access to the oncologist right now, but it may be to your benefit. The type of cancer you have generally is not easily cured. That's my understanding, and so it does sort of demand that you become your own, captain, in a sense, steering your therapy in the right way. And part of what we're trying to do is to get input of other people that are all levels of sophistication and understanding of the same thing, to create a video forum for people to understand, what their next step is. And this is clearly an option. It'd be nice to explore it some more.
Well, I think, look, my father died of cancer. He was 38 years old when he first got diagnosed with lung cancer. Of course, he smoked, and I've been smoking for 45 years too. So
Okay.
I'm made it to 65 so far. But, in my mind, I think that the immune system is definitely affected by stress. He was a detective in New York. He was one of these, pissed off Italians, all just mad at everything all the time. And I think that was his stress that really got to him. I think we all carry around cells that are mutating and trying to become cancer, and I think if our immune systems are healthy, 9 times out of 10, it'll stop it. But I think when your immune system is compromised, and I'm no doctor, but it's just my opinion, that you're taking care of these things. I know my grandfather was 85, a happy guy, nothing bothered him. I mean, he got a pretty good run. And I've seen other people that are stressed out all the time, and that's it. So, I mean, when I heard the news, yeah, it was disturbing for the first week, but I decided I'm going to have a positive attitude about this. I was trying to mentally get prepared to say, okay, am I going to get on this program, and if I'm going to do it, then I got to do it with a good positive attitude. So, figuring that, like I said, I have Plan B available, why not go for Plan A and just give it all you got?
Perfect. So I'm going to kibitz here then a little bit. So my interpretation as a physician who has seen a number of patients undergo cancer therapy, that Joe's taken the absolute appropriate, essential first thing by taking control of his life, cutting out the sugar, finding a therapy that has a rational base. In his case, talking to a person that actually went through it, though it's anecdotal, that's still very powerful evidence. It doesn't mean that his genetics and his cancer are going to conform. Every cancer is different, but most cancers have many of the same underlying dynamics. And to a large degree, when cancers are evolving, if you can slow their progression, you buy time sort of for high technical solutions to be achieved. So no matter what Joe's done, he's slowed the cancer process, he's done a rational thing, he's reduced his stress, couldn't do it any better.